अस्सलामुअलैकुम एंड हाय एवरीवन। जब दुनिया के अंदर कोई भी बात की जाती है तो ये कहा जाता है कि आपका इनर सेल्फ और आउटर सेल्फ एक होना चाहिए। आई वॉन्ट यू ऑल टू नो दैट वी ऑल carry I and an R with us. Now, what this I and R really means, wherever I will say I always mean that it is my inner self. मेरी अपनी values, beliefs, principles and all that stuff. And when I say R, that means my outer self. कौन दुनिया में इससे बेहतर इंसान होगा जो हमें आई और आर के इस कॉन्सेप्ट को बता सके अदर देन द पर्सन और द टीम विच हैज़ ऑलरेडी क्रिएटेड दैट कॉन्सेप्ट इटसेल्फ. I'm talking about the person who has given us his time to share his wisdom with us today. And the person who is with us, he's been working in North American market for the last 25 years or so. He has been a professional speaker, sales and management trainer, and leadership coach. He has been working in a TV channel as a host and anchor and the producer himself, and much more he's been carrying in his basket. Let us go to the guest and ask him himself that what the concept is, what is his complete introduction, and how to go about today's discussion. मैं आज बहुत ज़्यादा फ्यूचर लुकिंग हूँ क्योंकि मैं ये समझता हूँ कि आई एम गोइंग टू लर्न अ लॉट about AIR theory. And the guest today we are having with us is no one else other than RIZWAN Rashid Saab, live from Canada, joining us today. Assalamu alaikum RIZWAN bhai.
Assalamu alaikum to you and all your audience. Thank you very much for elaborative introduction. I'm not that worthy, but बहुत शुक्रिया आपका. मैं वाकई यह है कि पिछले 25 साल से नॉर्थ अमेरिका में हूँ. Actually, I started my career in Islamabad, Bank of America, after my MBA. और 1998 में जब the Bank of America shut down हो गया, so I had that option to move to US. तो मैं यहाँ पे चला आया और वहीं पे फाइनेंशियल मार्केट के साथ उस वक्त से कनेक्टेड हूँ. But it has been a great journey overall. Financial markets, exploring new businesses, creating new territories, and creating new teams all across America, Canada, and UK. So बड़ा ज़बरदस्त journey रहा है, and a lot to learn. And I'm glad you asked me to share some of the information. I don't know, I work as a leadership coach with a number of people, and some of them. And I got actually inspired by one of your talk about आपके guest आए थे, and वो बात कर रहे थे difference between coach, consultant, and trainer. So I commented on it, and you commented back that let's talk about it, because actually this happened a lot. And that's why I think one of them, the discussion which we brought it in today, is IR theory. And we will talk about a little bit more. But let me share with you, because I'm a storyteller, and I want to share with you IR theory. I stand for identity, and R stand for role. So there is a difference between two. Now, maybe I can share with you with a story. Years ago, and as an executive client asked me to help her with her change management within her company. So let's call her Melanie. Melanie was an executive in a firm, and although we have discussion in terms of leadership coaching, helping her to figure out how to install it, लेकिन मुझे लग रहा था कि she is lost in translation. जो मैं कुछ कह रहा था, she was interpreting different way. And able to understand totally different. तो मैंने उसे कहा कि मैं डॉक्टर फेल नहीं हूँ, यानी मैं कोई सूफी मुल्ला नहीं हूँ कि मैं तुम्हारा अंदर का हाल जानता हूँ, लेकिन मुझे लग रहा है कि तुम्हें कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा. I think we should disconnect, और तुम्हें किसी थेरेपी की जरूरत है, तुम्हें कोच, लीडरशिप कोच की जरूरत नहीं है. तो कहती नहीं मैं फोकस करूंगी, give me a little bit more. So I said, before we move forward, मैं उसे कोटेशन दिया कि जो लोहा होता है ना, वो इतना जबरदस्त मेटल है कि वो सिर्फ डिस्ट्रॉय अपनी रस्ट से ही होता है. तो वो जो अपनी जात है ना, जो बंदा खुद डिस्ट्रॉय होता है ना, वो अपनी माइंड सेट से होता है. So I shared her the exercise of IR theory, which actually really well worked with her really well. वो IR theory कैसे है? तो मैं शहजाद आपसे पूछता हूँ कि जब आप पैदा हुए, you know, when you were more than kind of impulses and needs, first time your mom and dad या आपके वालिदैन ने जब आपको रिसीव किया होगा, on a scale of 1 to 10, what rating they have given you?
10 being the best.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear you. So जो आपको रेटिंग दी गई वो आपकी आइडेंटिटी थी. अब ये जो रेटिंग आपके वालिदैन ने आपको दी वो रेटिंग 10, ठीक है, आपको दी. तो ओवर द कोर्स ऑफ द इयर्स आप नए नए रोल लेते गए. जैसे आप you become a son, you become a brother, थोड़ा सा और बड़े हुए, you become a friend, you become a classmate, थोड़ा सा और बड़े हुए, या आप एम्प्लॉई हो गए, और आपकी जिम्मेदारियां बढ़ी हुई, you become husband, father. So ये रोल बढ़ते गए. अब क्या हुआ कि now every role comes with rules or expectations. तो वो जो गुड परफॉर्मेंस हमारी उन रोल में होती है ना, तो हम समझते हैं कि वो जो एप्रिसिएशन प्रेज मिलता है ना, वो उस रोल की गुड परफॉर्मेंस के साथ कनेक्टेड होता है. और वाइस वर्सा, बैड परफॉर्मेंस ऑन द रोल creates negativity, or different things. For example, good son obey parents, right? Students get good grades. Good employees do a lot of hard work. Good husbands buy expensive gifts for wives. So ये सारा जो system है ना, जो the praise or reward का, ये सही है. It's part of the deal. It's where we are, like, working, or this has been the part of our culture. लेकिन यही हमें रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर देता है हमें अपने रोल में. हम जब भी अपने आप को समझते हैं ना, हम जब अपने एवेल्युएट करते हैं, हम रोल की बेस पे करते हैं, आइडेंटिटी की बेस पे नहीं करते. एंड दैट्स वेयर द डिफरेंस कम्स इन. नाउ अब आप जब अपनी
सर मे आई इंटरप्ट यू. ये जो आखिरी सेंटेंस आपने बोला ना, रोल की बेस पे और आइडेंटिटी की बेस पे, ये थोड़ा सा समझाएं दोबारा, बिकॉज यहाँ तक तो माइंड जो है वो आपके साथ बिल्कुल सिंक हुआ था, सिंक्रोनाइज था, लेकिन इन द लास्ट फ्यू मोमेंट्स वी लॉस्ट द ट्रैक ऑफ इट. Let me recap what you have said, that when a child is born, he has been rated against few of the roles he has been given, but with the passage of time his roles get increased in number, and similarly expectations or the ratings against each number is being rated against the performance of that specific role, if I'm right. अब रोल तक तो बात समझ में आ गई. ये आइडेंटिटी वाला पार्ट दोबारा से रिपीट कर दें.
अब आइडेंटिटी जो है ना, वो आपकी आइडेंटिटी है जो आपको एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग मिली है, जो आपकी ट्रू आइडेंटिटी है, जो अल्लाह ताला ने आपको इस दुनिया में भेजा, और इस दुनिया में अल्लाह ताला ने हमें एज अशरफुल मखलूकात भेजा है. Our identity always remain 10. Our role could be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, wherever you are. Like, आपने अच्छे marks नहीं लिए as a student, you might rate yourself 7, 8. But inside, down, deep down, you are actually still good person who want to get good grades, but unfortunately it didn't work. Unfortunately didn't work better, or studied better, so you couldn't achieve that. So yes, you actually flawed in your role, but you never flawed in your identity. लेकिन होता क्या है कि हम उन रोल के एक्सपेक्टेशंस और प्रेज और डिफरेंसेस को लेके हम अपने ऊपर वो हावी कर लेते हैं कि भाई यही मेरा रोल और यही मेरी रेटिंग है ओवरऑल मेरी शख्सियत की. अब आप ये समझो मेलनी किधर चली गई, तो मैं वही बताने जा रहा था कि once we worked with her this IR theory, तो मैंने उससे कहा कि do some work on it to understand how do you understand your role versus identity. So she was able to make a separation between two. तो उसकी divorce, उसकी financial disabilities, uska office mein uska, the cater, everything went beyond and weak, and her identity becomes high because she deep down she understood that she has all the good intention to do good. It's just the role she was accepted, she understood and accepted she is not a good wife because she wanted to work more towards her professional career, so she couldn't do
Rizwan,
work as a housewife.
I got the gist of it. I got the gist of it. Let me know that how many roles a person may carry. Is there any maximum number Rizwan can carry the roles? Is there a minimum number which Shahzad can carry as a role number? How many roles a person can carry in his or her life?
It doesn't matter how many roles. It matters is that you separate your identity with your role, right? You can be friends to tens of millions of people. Right now, you are Facebook friend with 5,000 people, right? But it Shahzad is still that person who believes that I am doing good for others, right? The other person might be thinking from other point of view. Now, you are not trying to create your role or your understanding or your perception based on others. You have your own identity. But when we listen to other people, when we get their feedback, we feel like, okay, I'm not a good person. I'm not a good friend. I'm not good a connector based on their expectation, but not on your own. So
Rizwan, you are letting me deep. You are now letting me have a dive into that ocean of your theory. Now, let me understand. Not it in your viewpoint is an injustice to the people. Two persons. Person A is carrying only two or three roles. He is not married. He is not having any kids, or even he has no brother or sister or parents. And as compared to another person who has many of the roles with him, not is this the injustice when we are comparing these two people in terms of role management, where one person is has to do just with so many roles and the other is by default at advantage.
True, and this is where tough comes in. This is where your personality, your maturity comes in. How do you deal with them, right? When we understand our role, for example, when I step in my house, I become have a husband and father role comes in. So I leave my job, my role as a trainer, as a leadership coach out there, because this is where I belong. So living in your present moment is absolute necessary in terms of separation of the role. But you're right, when you have so many different roles, you actually lost the track of it. One of the movies, split personality. This is where everything got mixed up. So
अब यहाँ पे एक और क्वेश्चन आ जाता है रिजवान भाई। बात ये है कि आप ये कहते हैं कि आजकल की दुनिया के अंदर बीइंग द लीडरशिप कोच योरसेल्फ यू टेल पीपल दैट देयर इज नो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस बिकॉज द वर्क एंड लाइफ आर ऑल टुगेदर वन थिंग। यू टेल पीपल दैट you have to be in business in the family as well all the time 24 hours. So when you are coming in to your door of the family room and you are shutting down that role of business coach and all that stuff, how you are going to compete in this fierce competition of business? Number one. Number two, you tell people that hum ashraful makhlukat hain, and you have been serving North American community where Islam is not everywhere, I believe. So फिर ashraful makhlukat का जो concept है, why people will buy it from you?
very true. Great idea. Great. The question is because that is what most people kind of stumble across, where their people most get confused about it. So you're right. There is no work-life balance. Typically when people hire you as for example, if you become a CEO or executive, they got a laptop, tablet, phone with you. You are 24/7 connected with that. Doesn't matter you walk away or not, but you are connected for that. However, this is where your maturity, your ability to transact, this is where people understand. This is where that creativity comes in, because if you continuously plugged in your business, your profession, you're actually not growing. You continuously walking around the same path where you're not seeing much bigger vision or new vision. So you have to move away from it. Now, good part is that the Shirful Makhlukat and believing in one Allah is hard for others. However, even atheists understand that there is one superpower. There is some power that creates, connects, and able to relate to others, people and powers. So when you really, what we talk about universal power, and then they understand how it works, because everybody believe in karma. If I do good, I'm going to get good. So what is karma? Karma is your call to the universe, your ability to transact, to go beyond your level, and then you receive back. It's kind of an out of body experience that you yourself step out of your body and see yourself, how you are doing, why you're doing what you're doing. And then you will see, once you see yourself out there, you will be able to move away or do that more. And this is where I've always been able to successfully connect with them, because this is my belief, and they don't have to connect with me or believe me about Islam and one Allah, but there is universal power and everybody believes in it.
Okay, Rizwan bhai, let me know if that Melanie came back to you and she says, okay, Rizwan, I agree with your concept. Now let me start working with you on this project. With IR theory in your mind, with my audience watching all this concept and buying the concept themselves, what would be the first action point that person is going to have before he sleeps tonight with respect to IR theory and whatever you are telling?
Okay. What is the first thing? The first thing is you have to rate yourself in terms of identity and different role. And that's much easy. I even actually have a flip chart, right? So I draw a line, I said, as a role and as an identity. And you have to really clearly understand deep down who you are. And I actually, in one of my classes in coaching, training coaches, we actually do this one funny exercise that you are on a deserted island for a few minutes where there's no one, and you got to hear for a few minutes. Now, there is no family, there's no roles, you're not an employee, you're not a husband, father, son, anybody, and everybody is safe, so you don't have to worry about them. You are here. The sun is shining, there's that cool breeze is happening, and clear water, and you are sitting under a tree, which is amazing. At that point, can you relate yourself and dig down deep in yourself and ask yourself who you are and how you identify yourself and how do you rate yourself? If I ask you, Shahzad, if you go into this mindset and you are in that deserted island, how you rate yourself right now?
Rizwan, you have made me hypnotized, and I'm into that situation right now. But I think that talking about Shahzad, Shahzad would look back at his life and would say that he has tried to live for a purpose, but there was much more he can do that in the earlier stages of his life. He has started working on the purpose of life, serving others lately in the age, and that would be at times that would be a look back and realization.
But how you rate yourself on a scale 1 to 10?
With current efforts, I would say that it would be around seven or so.
Okay. So see, this is where the difference comes in, because we so involved in our role. Because when I ask you, you wanted to help others, you are trying to emerge your business, you want to try to establish that. It is your role, not your identity. So the difference is identity versus role. So you trying to make this work in terms of training, coaching, and as I explore, that is your role. And you can rate yourself 6, 7, 8, whatever you are, wherever you struggle, where your success is, you can rate yourself. As an identity, you were born with 10 and you're gonna die with 10. That's
And
not
it will be 10 in between as well. So it will be static 10 all the time from birth till end. You are saying this.
absolutely. And I 100% believe that, because your identity is always 10. You might be successful, you might be struggling, you might be failing in a role, but in identity, you always 100%.
Okay, that is great concept. That is really great. Now let us understand one more thing, that the discussion is going to a phase of interest and suspicion as well. Let me understand, or let us understand, that how a person can identify accurately his roles. For example, if I'm going to jot down my roles, it is possibility that I may miss someone. And when Rizwan Rashid is going to jot down his roles, there is a possibility that he do it flawlessly.
Well, I think again, we wanted to focus on me from my perspective, not from others' perspective. So typically, very easy rule: ask your people around you. Actually, five. Your company, your personality is based on five people you connected with them. Ask five people around you the three questions. What are the three things come into their mind in a personal, professional, as well as human, in their mind when they talk about you? Three things to five people. When they do that, you jot down those understanding. That's their expectation, their understanding, and then you rate yourself. Okay, how do I rate as a son? How do I rate myself, on a scale of 0 to 10? So that's how you will be able to understand. Okay, maybe I'm not giving much time to my parents because I'm so much involved in my profession, so I scale myself 7. Okay, I can do better. All right, I'm going to read namaz with them, Fajr namaz with them, or take them to Juma prayer. Whatever the case may be, you will be able to, step up onto that level. And there's actually I have a rating chart where it actually will help understand a little bit better after this. But I think that does it help?
That is fine. You can share that rating chart afterwards. But the original idea or the objective of all this is, what I understand is to bring your roles rating towards your identity rating. I mean, identity is if 10, then you will strive to make your roles rating to reach 10 or nearby in each role. Is that so?
Correct. This is where success comes in, right? So here's the rating chart I develop, or I discuss a little bit more. And actually, it has a lot of theory and scientific basis behind it. So if I say that, how do you rate yourself, and you said 7? Did you said 7? Okay. So here's a chart to make it more understandable. 8 to 10, whoever give 8 to 10 rating, they are, I call, winners. Are the people who take advantage, the people who take risk, the people who look forward for more and bigger things, because they are very clear on their identity, and then they figure out, here's my role. And when they rate themselves, they can see themselves 8 to 10, whoever they rate, they actually take more risk to do more. Now, this rating between 4 to 7 is I call it a tough one. Why? Because it's a at leaster category. Means that if things are going well, I'm going to take credit for it. If things are not going well, I'm going to say this is my bad luck. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to be in between. I'm happy I'm not winning, but I'm also very happy that I'm not losing, right? So I'm right in between. And this is the rating where there is no spark. This is the rating where you keep up, you keep working, you maybe keep working hard, but you're not getting ahead of the line. You're not winning, because you always rate yourself. Again, you rate yourself as 7. You haven't rated high. Because if you are genuinely interested in yourself, if you are really truly believe in your that I am giving as best as I can, then you will be able to understand I'm doing more. And then the last category is quickly is 0 to 3. I call it non-winners. And non-winners are the complainers, like, the complainers who complain for everything, who will give them poor self-image, and that poor self-image because I couldn't do anything, I couldn't be better at that job. So their poor self-image creates poor performance. Everything, even if they become successful, they say it was luck. And if they're not successful, they say it is, my fate, my, kismati kharab hai. It's my bad luck. They always believe, they always think that someone else is doing something. Even they actually hate successful people. So this is where it's very critical. And why I really talk about this in a bigger sense, because honestly, you might be a bad student. And then we see in universities, kids are suiciding. In North America, it's a huge problem. Why? Because they think the bad grade is going to kill them. Bad performance, market crash, financial advisor. There are 47 financial advisors killed themselves because they couldn't deal with them. I mean, you're still a human being. You still tried. The crashing market was not your part of it. Now, it became, and that role becomes so overwhelming, they thought this is the end of the life.
Okay, Rizwan, you very smartly brushed away from the terminology of being losers and you replaced it with not non-winners. That was
I
very
all
beautifully done. You beautifully
non
done it. Yeah, yeah, non-winners. You beautifully done it. Now let me ask you a very straight, a brutal question a bit. That if that much wisdom and knowledge you are carrying, and if that much value you are adding to the people around you, why did not you choose Pakistan to serve your humanity here in this part of the planet Earth, where people are much deprived of this knowledge and wisdom? Question number one. Question number two, very much related to it. What is the theory's history? Whatever you are telling us, IR theory, what is the history to it, and what working and thinking hours had been put in by you or your organization into this theory, and how much successful it is in terms of facts and figures and that approval part from the thinking tanks and thinking minds?
Wow, that's that's a whole lot of questions, but I'm going to try to give answer. Now, the first is, the both Pakistan and Canada. I love both, and you know why? Because Pakistan gave me birth. This is my hometown, and U.S. and Canada both become where I grew, where I understood life, religion, and human psychology a little bit further. And just to tell you this, I actually love to work in Pakistan. In fact, these days I'm really looking forward to work in Pakistan. I'm actually with the Prime Minister's part of it called, I don't remember that part, Startup Pakistan. I think that's one of their. So I'm there, one of the peer mentor, and I'm working with some of the folks there in terms of entrepreneurship. I wanted to bring my training and my coaching to Pakistan because I think I owe Pakistan. I owe Pakistan and all the people there who, whatever I have gained, I wanted to give back. And if I can, I would love to do this because this is where my heart and my soul belongs to it too. IR theory is, hold on, so Sandler. So I work with Sandler Training. I don't know if you or anyone know about it. So Sandler is a sales trainer as well as management trainer all across North America, and I'm the person who actually work here in Canada, Canadian office. In terms of there's I'm forgetting his name, and I was trying to find his name. A psychologist who actually work on this IR theory in terms of philosophical mind, but then it was acquired in terms of training. Most of them, when we actually in management specifically, when we deal with the people, we can clearly see that people were actually struggling because of their role. And then if we help them understand the identity versus role, like it just light bulbs on. And when that happened, they were able to click and go through with them very swiftly. And I forgot was your last question.
You have answered both the questions. My first question was Pakistan, and second one, this was theory and history related to this IR theory. Now, the next question is, with all these things understood well and absorbed well, what if any person, from anywhere in the world, wants to connect with the Rizwan, Rashid, or anyone else in order to understand more about this IR theory and to take advantage of your knowledge and wisdom, is there any process to it? And if it is, what is it?
Well, right now I would love to help anyone to really understand in terms of coaching, in terms of helping them train their team. I love to train teams because I think that would be most big bang of the buck to connect with the people as a team. So my website, or there's sandlertraininglondon.ca is the website. We have it here from Sandler Training. You can connect with us. You can connect on my Facebook page or RIZWANRashid.com. There are several ways. If you search Rizwan Rashid, you will actually get in touch with me. And I actually really love to people who are forward thinker, who have entrepreneur skill, because the next part of the world is entrepreneur. Um, Forget about jobs, forget about looking for jobs. This is the world to really look for entrepreneur skills, to make more for others, right? If you are able to, if any of my folks in Pakistan are able to identify that they can add pleasure in someone else's life, or they can remove or eliminate a pain in their life, they got a business idea. And that business idea needs help in order to prosper further. And I'm here to help you.
That is great, Rizwan. Let us know that if we look at this pandemic thing all around us, and the young university graduates who have a lot of energy in them, and they are confined to their homes and they cannot go outside in order to give something back to the society or to contribute to the society around them. What would be your advice, specifically in particular people living in Pakistan and in general people in North America as well, that young graduates living confined to their homes, what best they can do in terms of IR theory in current days, current challenging time?
Well, in general, and I actually recorded a video the day after I met Malcolm Gladwell. I don't know if you know the writer of Outlier. Last year I met him and I kind of really impressed. And I was rereading his book, Outliers, in which he talked about the opportunity, cost of opportunity, and how do you capitalize on it. And I recorded video, and I'll share that kind of a content with the same, because it actually resonates with your young people. Because young people thinking, oh my God, I graduated or I'm about to graduate. I was ready to launch in the market, and now this pandemic, I can't do anything. I can't even apply, and nobody's looking to hire, or don't know if they hired me already, going to lay off because there's no need. So it only depends how you see the opportunity. And I shared with you a historic event of January 1975, when the first personal computer was launched. When the first computer was launched, it was a huge event. And when the newspaper came up and the launch was called a revelation, and truly it was a revelation, because it was a new word, because it used to be mainframe and supercomputers only designated for big companies. Now this small PC will become part of every home and every small business, and it changed the whole world. And there are a number of people who actually got great advantage with that, who they were not people 30 years plus. Why? Because in that era, 30 years plus, you already graduated, you already have a job. you bought a home, so you got a set life, and your mind is in that way. Again, we talked about 1975, so people were not entrepreneurial; they were kind of a job oriented. So you were in the way. If you are 19 and less, young, you're not educated, you're still in the school, you don't have much experience, let alone computing, because again, 1975, nobody knows about the computing. Now, the people between 22 to 29, they were really set to take advantage of that opportunity. Now, out of that, not everybody, but out of that, who are expert in that part, right? And Malcolm really elaborated really well that the people who were designated to make that difference in that age group were the one who were expert or have already given too much time for that computer and had the true love for that technology and then entrepreneurial skill. Who were they? Like Steve Jobs, he was 22 years old that time. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, 23 years old. Bill Joy, the father of internet, who created internet, was 22 years that age. So those are the people who were right there at the right time and right opportunity. So in this pandemic, it's an amazing opportunity. Why? Because at that time, computer was just coming up. And now the world is going virtual. Now the virtual world has its own benefits. Forget about I wanted to go to North America. I wanted to be only successful if I'm in America. Now, right now, we are talking across the globe. You can do the same thing, services as a freelancer, as a consultant from any part of the world. So this is your time. वो गाने ना अपना time आएगा. Your time has come.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Your time has come और तुम्हारा time आ गया है. रिजवान, that was pleasure talking to you. And आपने हमें मेलानी का नहीं बताया कि उसका end क्या हुआ. And lastly but not certainly not least, I know that we made you get up out of the bed for us, and for that I think that it worth you. जो आपने wisdom और share हमारे साथ share किया, knowledge, we really have appreciated your effort and your sharing and your giving attitude. With this, I leave this platform for you to say goodbye to your audience. From my part, this is done, and I am leaving you the platform with last minute advice and to let the people know that what was it all about from your end. Thank you very much once again, Rizwan. Take very best care of yourself, and over to you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Shahzad. And here's the last part of it. Melanie is still my client, and she is doing fantastic. She's right now CEO of a multinational company, and still my client because she understood the part where she wanted to work as her own role. So she forgot about identity and role versus of it. Once she became aware of it, she knew what role she can do perform well, and she left the role she couldn't perform well. The last advice is you are worth $1 million, especially young people of my Pakistan. You are worth $1 million, and believe me, you're actually more than that. So if you're feeling down, if you're feeling failure, if you're feeling there's not enough opportunity, if you stress out of not being opportunity or there is some sort of way that you can get ahead of it, look deep down to find out yourself. Are you performing that role to 100%? Do you rate yourself 10 or more? If you do rate 10 yourself clearly, honestly, deep down to your heart, I can guarantee you that other people will see. I mean, think of this. If anybody is singing out in the street and they have that voice and ability to express so beautifully, people will pick them up. I give that there is way many ideas and floating and behaviors that are out there. You have to understand your role and identity. Even if you are failing in one part of it, don't let go your identity. You are 100%. You are truly, honestly 100%. It is just a role. And if that role is not working, if you are not good in one bank or insurance company, maybe it's not good for you. Go for another one where you can perform according to your identity. So this is where, if you are deep down, you're not salesperson and you got a job as a salesperson, you're going to be really sucker in there. You're going to fail. So you make sure you find equivalent to what your identity is. You know, I'm going to really, what I'm going to say it again, that Allah made you ashraful makhluqat. Then don't yourself doubt yourself. Self-discovery actually comes way before roles, dreams, goals, plans, and actions. So this is why we fly. As a human, we fly without having wings. We dive deep down into the water without having fins. Allah has gifted you everything. All you have to do is explore. And I know you can.
Thank you very much, Rizwan. That was amazing stuff to close. And if I will say any other words, it will dilute the message. Thank you very much once again. Take very best care of yourself. Inshallah, we are going to meet again. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.